with your left hand.
And most places you sign the screen.
Electronic scene, that's also true, right? Lately, everything.
What's with cooking a chalamoid?
You're allowed to cook chalamoid, but you're not allowed to. Oh, that's a good mashal. This is very important. You know, you're not allowed to cook chalamoid for after Yontiv. You know, a guy tells me a few years ago, his wife went to his daughter was in Etzor, expecting a baby, so she went for Yontiv. So he says, why don't you come eat by us? No, my wife cooked up every day chalamoid. She cooked a bunch of meals for after Yontiv. You're not allowed to do it. You're not allowed to cook chalamoid for after Yontiv. Another very important thing, which is more important, you're not allowed to wash the laundry. And you're not allowed to let the shiksa wash the laundry. And even though the shiksa is coming, and your wife is annoyed, but you cannot have the shiksa wash the laundry.
Children?
And children, only young children make everything dirty. But a child is 6, 7, 8, you have to rather buy more underwear and clothing than to wash. No, even if you do, you can't add into the bin. You cannot add into the bin. It's a huge problem.
Why is that? Think about it. Most people get so much more settled.
But Chazal, the reason was, you're allowed to wash clothing. The Gemara says the Chazal asked washing clothing chalamoid because shaliyechnes lemoid kishim novel. If I could wash clothing chalamoid, I'm gonna see the good old days. You didn't push a button. You know what I mean? Today, you know, we get annoyed if where the button doesn't work perfectly. Washing today is a joke, really. But we can't change the halacha. You know, those days. I asked my mother, Zayin Gesund, what it meant washing clothing here? You know what it meant washing clothing? If you weren't wealthy and you gave it to the cleaners, the special cleaners would come in, it was horrendous. Today, just throw into laundry and throw into the jar. Towels, Ikra, the Mishnah says, you're allowed to wash towels. Towels, the Mishnah says. The meaning is not to, but today everyone changes towels every day, so you're allowed to wash. Of course, the Mishnah says you're allowed to wash towels. It's a Mishnah. The Mishnah says you're allowed to wash towels.
Okay. So the kids' clothes and the towels they can wash.
Yes, young children.
If a restaurant and they make a kosher with Pesach, are they allowed to open it up and get clothing?
Why not?
You don't work, you're working.
Yeah, but you're selling food. Is the grocery allowed to? As long as he's selling food that's Tzorech HaMoed, you're allowed to. They're coming to eat there, Chol HaMoed.
So if I go shopping for food, I shouldn't shop for I have to buy food that if I need to go buy broccoli, I have to buy it for
Yeah, you can't shop Chol HaMoed for after Yontif, right? You can't go buy, we're here anyways, we need after Yontif some of these vegetables, you're not allowed to do that.
Are sheets the same thing as towels?
No. Anything else, Chol HaMoed? Should I tell you a chumah? You see, I say a bunch of kulas here. Let me tell you what it says in the Yerushalmi. Don't ruin it. Halacha. The Yerushalmi says that Umar Bevi, if I have koyach, I would mevatel Chol HaMoed. So the Rif says, what do you mean mevatel the Chol HaMoed? The Chol HaMoed was given to learn. That's what the Yerushalmi says. And the Shama's krechts, the Pesachim bringing down, the Chol HaMoed became, during times of Yerushalmi, became a time how we waste our time. The Bansham gave us Chol HaMoed to get closer to Hashem. And we take Chol HaMoed and we go to Disneyland.
Get close to our family.
I'm married, and I'm married to most of my children. Chol HaMoed never brought us closer. That's for sure. We gotta go, and we all nervous, and let's go to Disneyland. Where are we going? Are we going? Not going? It didn't bring us closer. That's a fact. I'm sure you all know that. It's just the mishigas that the children have. Everyone runs out. You gotta run. Doesn't. Let me just see any other question. What was the other question you texted me?
basic shiurim
Chaim knew held that a achilas pras is 4 minutes. That means you should eat the kazayis in a 4-minute span. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Kazayis is shmur is about a third of a matzah.
Let's go by the weight because Rabbi Tauber changed it. He will wait because
I left it home. I had it written down, and I left it. I'll fax it to you. I wrote it. It's an ounce.
Don't say that. matzahs today are so different.
Some are thin, some are thick. It's an ounce.
Rabbi Stern's matzahs are very, very thin.
Yes.
And the box. You can look at the box, see how many ounces come in a pound, make it heavy. No. That's how you do it.
Yeah,
Think
that's
of
a-
the average matzah, the average thickness.
Average thickness is about a third. If it's a very thin matzah, Stern's matzah, you need a little bit more than. You need about a half. But the ikak payday should be the first night. First night is Gzais Matzah Daraisa. There you should push yourself to eat. You know, really. I explained it to people. I don't have many years ago when I was learning the Shiurim, I went to farmer's market. You know, in our neighborhood is a farmer's market. I asked the guy to get me the biggest olive and get me the smallest olive. An olive is not an orange and not a tangerine either. And the average olive is not tiny. It is how big? Have you saw an olive? They're not bigger than this. What is an olive? You know, we became so paranoid with the Shiurim that you know the shear of an olive is. If you could measure it out, you should an ounce. If you crush matzah into an ounce, you see it's very little, not so much. I once here did it. It's a third of a matzah, the thick matzahs. You know, the thin matzah should be a little more. Yes, and I think Chaim Shear is about 4.1 ounces is the liquid kais. Like at Chila, I want to tell you something. Like at Chila, you have to drink wine. That's like at Chila, because Chedis, you know, Chedis was to show freedom. A slave was not allowed to drink wine. That was like the Romans, but the thing. A free person drank wine. We drink wine. We make a saber. Sabers were lean, because a free person was allowed to read, and we drink wine, that's a sign of chayres. That's why really wine. Now many people, my wife included, she drinks wine, she just falls asleep. You know, it's the sleeping pill, immediately. You know, certain people tolerate wine. Then it's better to drink grape juice because you're mechuyev to. But if you could tolerate wine, you're supposed to drink wine. And you're supposed to, like a tchila, drink roif kas. You know, some hold even color kos, but the Rav kos you should drink. And it's 4.1 ounces, it's not so much, really. Especially Chabad.
Can we drink less than that? Can we drink less?
Or a person who has a problem should drink at least mula ligmav. A mula ligmav is one cheekful. Understand? That's the sheet.
Is there any preferences on the bushel and non-bushel wine?
I Baruch Hashem, people bring me shlachmanos. I have wine, kanai nahara, the next 2 years. People bring me so much love, but I don't like to drink the non-bushel. Only Pesach I drink the non-bushel because the shiksa comes once a week, twice a week, and it's a whole. But in a hiddah, there is a hiddah non-bushel wine. Yeah, the kiddush is a hiddah. Yeah, it's a hiddah.
Does the color matter? White wine.
It should be red wine, says in Shulchan Aruch.
What if there are non-religious Jews and you have non-bushel?
No, then you should have a bushel wine. If it's
Something
not.
like pouring, like
No. Then you never know who's going to pick up the bottle. Then get Malusha wine. It's not worth the chumrah imagine someone of the non-religious grab the bottle and pour, and it's a big machlokes. If the rest of the wine became also not, rather get Malusha the wine. If you have non-religious people, she had Malusha.
So for someone that hates wine, it's still favors to drink wine? Is that
Yes.
I mean, there are people that get very bad reactions to wine.
So depends about how bad it is. Halacha, you could drink grape juice if it's such a bad reaction.
Can you dilute wine with grape juice?
You could do that too. Yes.
The ideal is to drink straight red wine, and then depending on the person's condition.
Yes. Any other question? You want to ask something?
I got an email that every year it's always a problem. 99-cent store and Srs01 aren't selling the hummus.
99-cent store is a yid.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. So
I didn't know Smart and Fine. I thought Smart and Fine was
that's what it says in the email. And as of now, they haven't sold it yet. And so to make sure that to wait for all their stock after this, how do you know when all their stock is finished?
I don't know. I don't let my wife buy 99-cent store. It's Smart and Fine. She never buys hummus there. She only buys,
Well, the beer from the Smart Fun people buy.
That's a problem. It's good you tell me. You know that. Yes.
I want to clarify. You said that if we're going out of town on vacation somewhere else, a different time zone, that we should sell our hummus in the time zone that where our house is.
Both. We should be machmir both ways. Let's say I have someone. I was going to Australia, lives in Australia. So it's right now it's an 18 hours difference in Australia. So and Rabbi came to me also said that he always comes to me. He has also other Chabad people in Australia. So I sell on Sunday morning. I'll sell because for him it's going to be Pesach 18 hours earlier than we are. And so but a machmir the other way around too. Let's say you're going to New York. And so in New York it becomes earlier Pesach, or you go to Srs01, or any of these places. So make sure that you sell before it becomes Pesach for you.
I understand. So I'm going to New York, it's 3 hours ahead. But if I sell it, should I sell it here or should I sell it there?
Just tell the rabbi that you're going to New York, and most people, I don't know, you sell the hummus.
I'm selling it 3 hours.
So there's no inherent advantage either way.
The Arabana, let me explain. Let me explain.
Yesterday from a Chabad email that said that if where you're traveling to, that's where you should buy hummus. I just want to.
That is not so simple. Yeah, that means the vada lechumra that way, but that is true for sure. But many are very machmir the other way around too. Here it's Pesach. It's both ways. See, let me explain. Let's say you're going to New York. It's true you sell in New York. It's okay. But if the other way around, let's say selling in New York is not a problem.
If I sell to a Rabbi in New York, he can't. His shiksa can't come.
That's why I tell people it's not so simple to sell in New York because here I tell the shiksa variation knows where the house is, show you the key, and I told you what they do. Baltimore Rabbi Heinemann makes the shiksa go into one of the houses. It's more.
What about the issue of when they buy it back?
Same problem.
Meaning, let's just say I went to New York for the first, my brother goes to New York for the first days of Pesach. Then he comes back here, right? So if he sold it to a rabbi in New York, is the issue.
And he came back for the second day saying.
He's going to come back to New York. And then if he comes back and
That's
says,
why.
that guy is
That's why it's a problem.
That's
That's a problem.
But this answer would be that when the guy buys it, when the guy sells it back, you only acquire it when you want to acquire it.
You have to say that.
That's not a problem.
You have to say, I'm not interested in getting it till after I don't want to buy it.
You don't have to say that. I get what she wants to buy.
Yeah, but there's some place you have to say clearly.
So the rabbi getting it back for everybody else doesn't matter that you're, by you it's still pays out because you didn't acquire it back.
Somebody goes for Seder, goes to Australia. So the crossing times, this is always a question for me because now for Shavuos, you're counting the days, right? But you're gaining a day if you go from Australia to here, you lose a day if you go from here to Australia, and the days don't match up. So it's not that it's if you want.
That's a separate issue, right? That's a separate issue. We're not talking about that, right? That's a separate issue. Anyways, you should all enjoy. One thing, don't forget. You gotta enjoy Pesach. You have to be happy Pesach.
There's nothing to eat. It's miserable.
On behalf of everyone, I'd like to thank Rabbi Tauber for the fantastic shiurim. In the next 2 weeks, there will be shiurim, and then we're going to come back with all of the koyach.
But for shiurim for size, now they say 1 ounce of food. Isn't it really split volume, like the word displacement? I was looking into this, I don't understand why it's 1 ounce by weight. It doesn't seem like
Many voltage, we don't pass it down, pass it the weight. The more
so how did they get to